Dweller.
Do you think more spirits could ever become elves?
As our world changes over the ages, so do the Fade's inhabitants. I suspect they'd look quite different.
So not, say, elves with wings? Like a bird's or a bat's?
It seems unlikely.
So, does Manfred have, people, thoughts, and feelings?
His self-expression may be limited, but Manfred is as cognizant of his surroundings as you or I. To a certain degree.
I told you no one would find us here, love. And my cousin has already booked us passage.
Orlais. It would be easy to get lost there. Find a place just for us.
Sable, I cannot wait.
Yes, someplace away from staring skeletons would be... But your cousin is kind to have us here.
I've heard another landscape has been added to your collection.
It grows.
We finished off a whole group of skeletons.
Interesting that they banded together.
It availed them not.
There are whispers from the levels below.
We shall find them.
Hello again, Lady Myrna, Watcher Vorgoth. This place is incredible. But, why is it so cold? Is it always so cold?
You feel the remains of despair.
While banished, its effects will only abate with time. Good day.
Prepare yourselves. Victory to the living.
You're the spirits Emmerich and I met in the gardens.
Yes, indeed.
How pleased we are, young Watcher, to see you intact and well.
I gathered all the bones that Wisp left scattered around.
Many thanks. Such a relief to know the body's been made whole.
It's complained of cold for weeks.
We unlocked a room in the gardens with the bells. Whose was it?
It varies as the necropolis sees fit from time to time.
On patterns too fine for even we to know.
Greetings once again.
Watcher Volkaren. Always a pleasure. Such a promising child.
He's been grown a while. You're forgetting time.
How do mortal minds track the years?
Doing well?
The sunken bell has woken friends.
Such ends they'll take to meet us.
Hello.
Hello?
Good to know your mortal heart yet beats. You return. Perhaps one day for good?
You really should consider it while young.
What do you hope to find here in the dark?
No, don't start. You'll ruin the Christian.
Watch ahead.
Battle then! Is everyone intact?
So, how does it work? Being half undead, I mean. Which half of Hezenkos is undead? That feels important.
I wasn't being quite so literal. The line between life and undeath can be porous.
Oh, okay. That makes more sense.
What were you imagining?
Well, one leg's alive, the other's undead, so you kind of just go in circles.
This one keeps its memories yet.
So many rooms. What's following? What are you? Stay away! They're gone. House is safe.
Now, what do you have to say for yourself?
Did I miss something?
Since we're here to gather flowers for the dead, I thought I'd teach Manfred some plant names. But I just caught him attempting to wade into a rose bush.
Emmerich, how could you stay annoyed at that face? Skull.
Oh, Manfred. Whatever will happen to you if I pass on?
If?
There's something I'd like to talk about. Do you know what a lich is, Rook?
An undead mage that's retained their mind. They're theoretical. Aren't they?
The idea fascinated me when I was younger. For years, I researched and experimented, spoke with spirits and mages. Then, eventually, I found them.
Who?
The Lich Lords of the Grand Necropolis. Necromancers before me who'd transformed themselves into true living dead.
Incredible. Do the other Watchers know?
Well, the most senior do. You weren't high enough in the Order to be informed. The Liches are the great protectors of the Necropolis, bulwarks against forces that threaten creation. After years of tests and rituals, they granted me my desire, the right to attempt lichdom.
What about etheric wasting? Balancing fade currents? Spectral binding without madness?
All part of the required preparations.
I hope so.
Lichdom is an incredible honor. Immortality, prestige, the most hallowed ranks of the Watchers, as well as a chance to be of service past my allotted years. But there are considerations. Come, we have flowers to gather for the dead.
Okay, but I've got questions.
Blue creepvine. This will do nicely.
So if you were a lich, it wouldn't be a spirit mimicking you? It'd be your actual soul in the corpse?
It would.
I didn't think... Wait, is that what Vorgoth is?
Oh, no one knows what Veilguard is.
Hail the eyes of the dead. Ah, just greeting the wisp.
Moon blossoms, famed in verse and song.
Smells like perfume. Do liches have a sense of smell?
I've been told that while some of my senses will dull, others will become available. Other than that, I can't say if the flowers would still hold their bloom for me. Lichdom serves a purpose. There are dark things in creation, threats to both our world and the Fade. The Liches of the Necropolis have the insight and the abilities to oppose them.
And you're joining them when?
Certain elements have held me back. There's no ready instructions for lichdom. The steps must be discovered on one's own over years to be fully understood.
Does the spell to become a lich kill you, or do you have to...
No, mercifully, that falls to another watcher. After my death, my soul will be drawn back into my body instead of moving on to whatever lies beyond. I cannot reveal more, even to a fellow necromancer.
I understand. So, what's holding you back from lichdom?
Even with all my preparations, there's a chance I could die, permanently, during the rites. What cowardice! The promise of immortality, an end to all my fears, and the final veil stays my hand.
That's reasonable. Lots of people are afraid of dying.
Is it? When it keeps me from what I most desire? Traditionally, candidates for lichdom face one final sifting of the soul. If they avoid it, you saw my old colleague.
Hezenkas? She's a lich?
A half-lich, though that hasn't diminished her powers. Until I stop her plans, I won't possess the peace of mind for lichdom. Why don't you select the next flowers, Rook?
Sure. So what's a half-lich exactly?
Johanna attempted the rites of lichdom and failed. Stuck in her in-between state, she is supremely dangerous, but can't learn any new magic.
No wonder Hezenkas was shouting so much.
No, she's always been that way.
What about the sifting of a soul that Hezenkas avoided?
The spirits of the necropolis judge whether a candidate is worthy of the power and responsibility of lichdom.
How'd she become a lich without it?
I shared some knowledge when we were colleagues. She apparently put together more than I knew. It would be just like her to skip the rituals, the cleansings, the preparations of the soul.
For a Watcher, Hezenkas is pretty harsh on spirits.
We made allowances because of her discoveries. Too many. Spirits are not things to be disposed of.
You really care about them.
They're so susceptible to the world's whims, Rook. Some spirits are dangerous, but how quickly most respond to a bit of kindness, or care, or simple attempt to understand. For all she's done, I can't condemn Johanna for attempting lichdom. That freedom from mortality, that divorce from fear. And of course, time to read all of one's books.
Every mage's dream.
But how she's abused her abilities. Are my intentions enough to fare better?
Worrying's a good sign.
We have enough flowers. There's something I'd like to show you.
I spent time down here myself as an apprentice. You sweep a lot of graves before they give you a sword or a staff.
Here we are.
Oh, so these flowers are for...
Yes. If you could place them on the graves, please.
In memory of Rupert and Eleonora Valkarin, they walk eternity hand in hand.
After I became a Watcher, I erected a proper shrine to my parents. When I come to talk, I like to think they listen. Well, don't be shy. Introduce yourself.
I'd have dressed better if I'd known we'd be seeing family.
Oh, you look splendid.
I'm Rook, also a Morn Watcher. Best greetings.
Do you remember your parents?
Some memories are bright. Others are akin to those dim early morning dreams one gets sometimes. Lately, I wondered what they'd think of our current course, the choices ahead.
Your lichdom?
What would they have wanted me to be?
I can tell you what I think they'd want you to be.
What's that?
Happy.
You could always speak with your folks, couldn't you?
My parents last saw me as a boy. By the time I mastered my corpse whispering, I was a man. If I woke them, there might be a flash of recognition, or... Besides, if I speak to too many other spirits, Manfred might grow jealous.
Can't have that.
He'd be impossible, I agree.
Professor, Emmerich, is everything okay? I mean, it probably is. I just, you seem a little off. Sorry, that's probably rude.
No. I do have quite a lot on my mind. Choices I must commit to.
Well, if you want to talk or not, I'm here to listen.
Thank you, Belara. That's most kind.
Wonder what their story was.
I could ask, if you'd like.
Stumbling. The steps. Skeletons saw. Oh. No choice. Had to be brave. Had to be brave. Too late to cry. Save the girl with the grave.
you hear? With all possibility will fade, we've called off Hines for the time being.
Pity to any young mage just preparing to make the leap.
We've an unseen visitor.
They pass on.
How's home?
We've experienced downward shifts in the literal bounds of the deeper necropolis.
Again? So soon?
We'll find the bottom of this place one day.
Perhaps.
Well met. A fine day.
You know what helps me when I have a big choice to make?
Tell me.
I write a list. Good parts on one side, bad parts on the other. And there you go. Decision made. Well, until I regret it and worry.
My decision is about a certain life-altering path I might take in the Morn Watch. I'm afraid it doesn't lend itself well to a tally.
Well, just in case. The list can help.
We sail.
I can't even read some of these books. I wonder what they say.
Do we really want to know?
Sure. The world can always use more knowledge about...
No, I mean you and I. The Dalish need any more rocks in our history being turned over?
Feels like we're a little late on that one.
I don't understand why you're bringing so many books.
Well, I don't see what your objections are to my taking a canopy.
We're only going for 2 days.
You've hardly brought more than a flask and a bedroll.
I'm surprised she took the bedroll. I've seen her sleep on roots.
I don't sleep on roots. I sleep amidst the roots. If you do it right, it's like being cradled. A tree hug. Emmerich wants to see more of Ferelden, so we're going camping. But he's treating it like we're going to an academic... thing.
An expedition can have its earthly comforts.
You want to bring a shaving kit in the woods.
My dear Harding, a gentleman is never without a brush and a razor.
The whole point of going to the wilds is to get away from all that. So what if you get muddy and smell a little bad?
One can enjoy the scenery while remembering to bathe.
Harding, does it really matter if Emmerich brings 8 books?
9, actually.
And Emmerich, so what if Harding is fine sleeping on dirt?
Not all the time. Okay, Rook, I know. This trip's supposed to be fun.
I really have looked forward to you showing me more of your home, Harding.
Me too. Oh, and I'll make us sandwiches.
Ah, your famous ham and jam slam?
Well, yam and jam slam because you don't eat meat. So I'll use yams.
How thoughtful. Thank you, Harding.
Are you doing all right, Rook? Don't forget to take breaks, okay?
So you're not rich? Even though you're a mage?
No. Why? You think I look it?
Your dresses are pretty.
Thanks. Little secret, my best coat was a gift. Saved a warehouse from an arsonist. The tailor was grateful. And your outfit includes more jewelry than mine.
Huh.
Rook, you're here.
Is something wrong?
Viago and Dea sent word. They have information about Ilario. Whatever it is, they wish to speak away from Treviso, away from anyone who might be listening. They won't put more to paper. I need to meet with them as soon as possible.